Hello, so this is Book Chick here, and I wanted to do a book review. But before we get started, I apologize for the lighting. I don't have a ring light yet, and it's nighttime. Also, I'm not sure if you can hear her, but Nyx is joining me today, and she's purring really loudly. So we're talking about the two books that I finished this past, like 3 weeks ago, two or 3 weeks ago, and that I finished like 2 days ago. These are from my March TBR, which I'm still wrapping up, so I figure I'll do book reviews every 2 or 3 books that I finish. So here's the next two that I finished. So Joanne Fluke's Banana Cream Pie Murder. It's really good. It's you know, like those murder shows that they have on Hallmark. This is a lot like that. It's about a small town girl who has her own bakery. She has just gotten back from her honeymoon, and this isn't like, I haven't been reading them in order. I've been bad. So I'm not sure what book number this is, but she has a bad habit of either her or her family members find murder victims. It's just part of living in this town. It used to be like really safe, small town vibe, and it's like slowly becoming like the murder capital of Minnesota. But throughout the book, she's talking about her bakery and different like recipes that she's coming up with, and it has recipes in it which are really good. Like, the writer knows her stuff. So here's a recipe for orange fudge cookies. This is not one of the ones that I tried, but I did try, she has like some like dinner sides and like dinner options. So I tried, she has a recipe for cheesy beer muffins, which I tried, and they were really good and super easy. Like I would say probably almost foolproof. And I also tried some corn chowder that she had a recipe for in here. So really good book. I actually didn't know who was going to commit the murder until like the last 100 or so pages, and then that person like made an appearance, and I was like, ah, could that be it? And it was. But it kept me guessing, which is surprising because it seems like sometimes with this particular kind of murder mystery, you know right away who the murderer is. So I really like that she kept me guessing. The other book that I read is nonfiction, and it's because I just got a new dog, a Greyhound, and so part of the adoption process was that we had to get this book and we had to read it, so we knew what to expect. And it is Retired Racing Greyhounds for Dummies. I know, it sounds silly, but you would be surprised like how helpful this was, because greyhounds, especially racing greyhounds, like, they aren't normal dogs. You have to train them what doors are, what windows are, that they can't like jump through them. You have to train them if you have a pool, like they've never seen a pool or a large body of water, and you have to train them that they can't like walk across it, because they will try and apparently they sink. So this was a really helpful book. It has lots of like tips on the best foods to feed them, like ways to get them used to living in your house, like different tricks to treat them, and like simple like one word tricks, like ways to teach those things, like come, mine, so that they don't like try to take your food. So the best way, the writer says to do that, this is by Lee Livingood. She says the best way to do that is to give them their food and then pick it up and take it away and say mine. And then when they like stop being interested, you can give it back and say yours. Good girl, good boy, good dog. So different things like that. And plus it's got like a couple, like some pictures. Apparently Greyhound puppies are adorable, as are most puppies. I would say all puppies. which that's another thing. Like, I'm really glad we got a retired racer, because apparently Greyhound puppies are like terrible. Like, they eat everything and they're just terrible to live with. So I'm really glad that we got a retired racer. He's 3.5. So he's already been through the terrible puppy stage, and he's already such a good boy because he's already like been trained to have good manners. We just have to train him how to live in our house. But this was such a helpful book. It has like lots of things, like, can you afford a dog? If you can't, maybe you shouldn't get one. Like, it mentions that not all greyhounds are cat friendly, so a lot of rescue places now will like kind of screen for that. Like, they'll have them walk past cats or small critters and see if they stop and try to eat them, or if they're licking their lips a lot, like, ooh, delicious snack. Then probably not small animal friendly. But we were really lucky, and we told them that we have a cat and that we definitely needed a greyhound who would not eat the cat. So we were really lucky, and we got one that doesn't appear to be interested in the cat. He actually seems to think she's a dog, so that's going really well. But this book has lots of tips on how to train them to where they can be safe around small animals if you're near them. It specifically says, especially if you have like hamsters or bunnies, never leave them alone together, and like have a room where the hamsters or the bunnies or like the small rodent type pets can be and be safe in their cages or enclosures, and your dog can't get in there because they'll be fine, and then one day something just happens and they might try to get them. But so that's why whenever I actually like leave the house, he goes in his crate so he doesn't try to eat the cat while I'm gone. But while we're all here, he hasn't really gone after the cat. They do play, but he's not malicious. Does that make sense? So yeah, but really helpful book. If you're thinking about getting a retired greyhound, I recommend this, whether your rescue does or not. Very, very helpful. Or if you're just thinking about getting a dog, or you're having issues with your dog, this has a lot of like training tips that I feel like would be helpful for any kind of dog, not just greyhounds. So definitely look into this. It's by Lee Livingood, and it's the Dummies like series. So self-help. But it was pretty good. So that's it. Hopefully in a week or two I'll have another couple of books to talk about. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe, because that would really help me out. See you next time.